All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Team Call. Great to see all your smiling faces jumping on. If you're where you can, jump on screen with us. And excited to have everybody on. We've got a very special call lined up for you today. And so, as the case, when we have special call and special guests, we're going to kind of reverse order. Normally, we start out with leaderboards. We're going to move leaderboards to the end of the call so we give plenty of time for our guests of honor. And very excited today because we have a couple folks on from the home office to talk about one of the best and most exciting new programs that we have available to us. Something that you all, as soon as you get contracted, can start selling, air quotes, because you're not really collecting any money. You're just signing people up. So how easy is it to sell free? So without further ado, let's give a special welcome to Brittany and Jerry from home office. And I don't know the order, so I'll let you all kind of fight it out for who dives in here and takes off.
Yeah, of course. Well, thanks so much. Oh, sorry, echo. Thanks for having us on today. It's so glad to be here, and I really enjoyed the pump up music on a Friday. I like that. It's been really fun being on a lot of these agent calls, just to be able to share more about MyQuility, how it works, and kind of how you can weave that into your sales pitches. So that's kind of what we're here to do today. Kind of what I'm going to start out with is just a quick demo, just to let everyone kind of see the platform, talk through how you log in, show some quick things around there, and then Jerry's going to kind of jump into that scripting part and talk a little bit more about how you can share that with your clients effectively. So thanks again for letting us be on today. So glad to be here, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know we've got a short timeline here, so I want to get as much covered as we can. So so when you go to myquility.com for the first time, you're going to go up here to the top right corner and click sign in. Because you are an agent, if you have a HQ login, you have your SFG code, make sure that you're signing in through this. If you're an agent, sign in through this. This is if you want a consumer instance. So consumer instance means that you get cash back rather than points. This is the consumer side that your clients would sign up for, or friends and family can sign up through. But because you are an agent, you will have a very specific agent instance. You will have a lot more options in your profile, the ability to receive points. Instead of just cash back, there's a lot more things there. So make sure if you're an agent, you're signing up through that. It will redirect you to your HQ login. You fill in the same credentials there and you sign in. It will take you to the homepage, and from there you can see what all deals we have. So again, these deals are discounts on whether it's dining, play, such as bowling or movie tickets. Shop can also be your getting an oil change. There's different things available there. So if you want to go get some dinner, you can click on details for any of those. It will pull up the coupon, how to use it, how you show it, what the offer terms are. So it gives a little bit more details about each of those. And over here, you can search by keywords if you wanted to search for pizza, if you wanted to search by zip code. So you can actually put in where you live, and it will reload with what's available in your area. So that's really neat that you can find deals right in any zip code in the US. There is a deal. So eat, play, and shop as well. So that's kind of the discount piece of MyQuility. And the travel piece, I'll let Jerry will go into a little bit more when he speaks to that, but we'll talk through wellness. So Quility RX, we just made a huge shift yesterday. You should have received a communication about that. So originally Quility RX was kind of our first piece of MyQuility before MyQuility was fully built. And so now it's Quility RX was brought under MyQuility, which is super exciting, which means we can better reach out and communicate with your clients about Quility RX. So this is the updated look and feel, and it all being here on MyQuility. So we've got Quility RX here. And then we also have MeMD, which again should have received a there's lots of exciting changes here this week, but also should have received the communication about MeMD officially becoming Walmart Health Virtual Care. We had a huge webinar yesterday on that, so I hope all of you were able to join that. If not, we'll be sending out the recording next week. But that was just a really in-depth call with myself and Allie from Walmart Health to kind of walk through that platform, what it is, how it works, how it benefits your clients. So make sure if you didn't get a chance to watch that when we send that out next week, be sure to watch that and get a little bit more details about what that is. So we can go in there, and that is the primary care, urgent care, and behavioral health services that Walmart Health offers. So that's there in wellness. Insurance, you've got QLT, and because you're on the agent instance, you also have a quick link over to Protect the Protector. Like I said, Jerry's going to talk through travel, but I'll look at your profile. I know I'm going very quick, but I want to make sure I give Jerry time to talk through his piece. So in your profile, all of this information pulls over from HQ. So obviously I am not an agent, so mine's not fully filled out, but yours should have the same identical information that HQ has. Points. So as you start to accumulate points from purchasing travel through My Agency Rewards, this is where those points will show up. Actual versus pending, and kind of a summary of where those points came from. Savings is kind of your monthly savings based on what coupons you've used, any travel that you've booked. It's your overall dollar saved for the month. And then travel, so any travel that you have booked will be listed here, whether that's hotel, flights, theme park tickets, that will all be listed here. Resources, this is a really important one. This is kind of where we have all of our training information, one sheets, and a lot of our social media content. So if you're looking for approved captions and graphics to use on your agent social media platforms, this is where you can find that. There's different categories. So if you want to focus on travel or eat, play, shop, you'll see the images there, and then the captions as well that you can copy and paste over into your social channels. One thing you'll notice in all of the captions is it says insert your custom agent URL here, and you will get that custom URL from Share MyQuility. You can click it here or here on this button. So just try to make it easy for you guys to get to. So your unique agent link is here. And so anyone who signs up under that link, you will receive attribution for things that they do on their profile. So if you sign a member up, they book travel, use Quility RX, sign up for Walmart Health Virtual Care, you will receive a portion of that. So that kind of passive income that you're used to seeing with Quility RX will now expand with other offerings on MyQuility. There's also a way, if you're having a conversation with someone about MyQuility, you can also send them a follow-up email. You can direct what page you want them to go to once they sign up. So you can send them an invitation, and it will say, hey, Chris sent you an invitation to join MyQuility. This is a little bit more information about it. And once they sign up, then they would be enrolled under you. So again, you would be receiving attribution for what they're doing. So that's the share piece. And again, that's where you would find that unique link that you would put into your captions to make sure everyone is signing up under you. My Agency Rewards is another offering that we have, which is any agent that signs up, anyone in their downline who receives a summit, who completes a summit phase, or has a leadership level promotion. There is points associated with that charges your card each month. And that way you can reward your downline without even having to think about it. It just automatically does that for you. We send a summary of that before your card is actually charged, but a really cool way to incentivize and encourage your agents to keep doing what they're doing. Then we've got Quility RX here. So your card, any of your saved prescriptions. So as you're using the pricing tool and you're saving prescriptions that you typically use, you can save that here and it will dynamically update if for some reason the price does change. And leaderboards is something we're super excited about that is coming really soon. We're hoping next week that Quility RX will be up, and then we'll continue to add leaderboards for all the different parts of MyQuility and what the offerings are. So exciting things coming soon on that as well. And want to direct you down here as well to our FAQs. We have lots of good FAQs in here for all the different offerings that we have. So if you have questions, check out our FAQs before reaching out to support, but you can, of course, always reach out to support. We've got a, email address, and depending, if you're out there traveling after you've booked something and you need to talk to them directly, you can do that. Quility RX, if you have questions, same with MeMD, you can chat with them directly if needed. So I think I've covered most of the platform quickly. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Jerry to kind of talk through travel and then how you can share that with your clients.
There we go. Let's try that again. Thanks, Brittany. So let me try to share my screen. There we go. Y'all should be looking at MyQuility. So I'm actually logged in as a client, just so you can see what your clients will look at. You notice our fake client is called Better Person. Somehow an S slipped on there. So this is Better's person. So Chris asked the question of how do we include MyQuility? Like, what's a great way to get this across to your clients? Like, what are good points to insert this? And we found a couple that have worked really well. And so I want to mention those to you and then ask for your feedback. So if you try this on a few of your sales, if you would, please let Chris know and your AO can report back to us. Or if you just want to email us, that would be fine. But the two places that we've seen this work out really well, John Clayton, who is one of our agents, you can go find him on Facebook. I believe he's John Clayton Jr. on Facebook. But he's pointed out a couple of times where in a sale, he's gotten pushback of, hey, this is great, but I really can't afford it right now. And so he's talked to them. He's asked this question, well, what would it look like? Like, what would help you live your best life, live life to the fullest for less, right? Which is our tagline with MyQuility. And so as he's talking to the person, he's finding out, well, they're on certain prescription medicines and they cost this amount of money per month. And so John's, what he's posting on Facebook is he goes to Quility RX, he puts in on the pricing tool their prescription with them, and he says, look, this is $10 at your local Walmart. How much are you paying for it? Oh, well, I'm paying over $100 every month. Well, just by switching from your pharmacy to Walmart, that's saving you $90 a month, right? Almost $1,200 a year that we just put back in your pocket if you sign up for Quility RX and go use this. Tell me about, going to the doctor. Like, how are you getting your prescription? Yeah, every month, we have to go to the doctor, and that costs, X amount of dollars because they're on a high deductible plan or they have no health insurance whatsoever. So they're just paying whatever the cost is at like the local health clinic, that sort of thing. And he's like, well, MeMD would give you an individual plan for $30 a month or a family plan for $60 a month that would give you 3 virtual healthcare visits per person per month, 3 urgent care, and 5 mental health care. And they do that because some months have 5 weeks in it. So, there's one for every week of the month if you're doing talk therapy, behavioral health, those sorts of things. So what if you paid that and it was only $30 per month or $60 per month instead of the $100 you're paying every month to go see the local clinic? Well, that would save you another $40. Okay, so we've just added another $480 per year. So now we've put almost $1,600 back in your pocket. So can we come back to the mortgage protection, life insurance, whatever it is, and talk about like, would this really serve your needs right now? Or can we look at some other products that might serve your needs better since we found a way to save you money every month? And so John's had some real success with that. He's posted that on his Facebook if you want to go check out some of the things that he's bragged about there. So during the sale, especially as an answer to objections, seems to work well. Another one that you can talk to everybody about is travel. So notice on hotels and rental cars, there's an actual cash back. That's what you're seeing on my screen. That's for your clients. You would receive that same amount in points as an agent. But you can talk to them, look, even if they only do one family vacation a year, then you can still save them money on that. So I pulled up as an example, we've got friends in Dallas, Texas, and I just pulled up as an example, like say my wife and I want to go visit them in January. We're going to take a long weekend. So I put in Dallas, Texas. You can see right there, January 13th, January 16th. That's just a long weekend, Thursday to Sunday. 2 adults for my wife and I. And so if you come in, right now it's on nightly. So this top hotel, the Cooper Hotel and Conference Center is $245 a night. I can actually switch that to total. You can see that would be $787 with $220 cash back. So that's $220. The way that works is I have a Chase Visa card. We've tested it with my Chase. It takes about 3 days. But the way it works for your client is I book that trip. I get $787 plus the hotel fee that always gets tacked on there. And then I immediately get a refund to my Chase credit card of $220. So this trip would actually cost me $567. So now there is an attribution. You heard Brittany mention that. Really quickly, let me explain the 2 buckets. So there's what we call in MyQuility a reward bucket. For your client, that goes right back on their credit card as a refund. So you just saved your client another $220 if they take a trip this year, or $220 for every trip they take this year. There is a second bucket, and this was explained at Denver, that is a little bit of margin. The overage of that margin is what would come to you as the agent. So let's say I'm Chris's client. I'm signed up under Chris. I buy this. So it cost me $787. They put $220 back on my credit card. So I get $220 back within about 3 days, usually from my credit card. Then out of the margin that would go to Quility, that's where they're going to pay Chris. Actually, Chris is a bad example because he's the AO. So let me pick somebody else. I'll say I'm under Stella. I can see Stella's picture there. So the lion's share of that margin is actually going to go to Stella. And then a percentage off the top is actually going to roll up to Chris. And those are 2 different buckets. So that's not going to affect your client or you as an agent. Like whatever it says you get as a reward, you get. Off of this other one, that's what we're going to give to you as the agent that signed them up, and then an overage of that up to the AO. And the reason we do that is, what's your AO interested in? He's interested in recruiting agents. He's interested in y'all selling insurance and building the agency with him. So that overage that's going to him is so that he will turn around and incentivize those behaviors, pass along hopefully enough money for a lead or something like that to continue to grow the agency. So that's why we give that top part, the cream off the top there of the margin, we roll that up to the AO. And so for you as an agent, let's say Miss Stella is the one who actually bought a trip. She would get the points. So that would be, golly, what would that be in points? 22,000 points. We'd have to check my math on that, but I think it's 22,000 points. So she would get 22,000 points. Then out of that second bucket that I was telling you about, the lion's share would actually go to her AO, and then the cream off the top would actually roll up to the direct. And so that's the way that works if you're an agent. But back to selling this, that means, again, for your clients, every time they book a hotel room and go through this, you're actually giving them cash back. And so we get asked the question often. You notice we show in here hotels.com, Orbitz. I actually didn't mean for it to go to hotels.com. Let's go back really quickly. You see those in there. And that's where a lot of agents have pushed back and said, yeah, but this actually isn't cheaper. Look, you're even showing us you're the same price as these other places. Right. The other places don't give that cash back. That's only MyQuility. So that's only the product that you have to offer to your clients to sign up for. So yes, they could run over to hotels.com. They could find the Cooper Hotel Conference Center. They could find $787 a night. What they're not getting is the $220 cash back. That was built in and designed so that the system that you have to offer to everybody is giving a cash back where others do not. And so that's how you can guarantee that you're cheaper than hotels, Orbitz, et cetera. So just so you know, as an agent, I'm a bit of a numbers nerd. what I look for, like this top hotel, I go, okay, 787, that's close to $1,000. 10% of $1,000 is $100. So when I look down here, that means that's a 20% reward. See how I got that? Like if the total is nearly $1,000, that's 20% reward. That's really good. That means the total price has come down and the rewards points have come up. And so you really are maximizing. So if you're an agent and you're wanting to save money as an agent, you personally, that's what I would look for. And then I would just ask the question, you know, do I know anything about the Cooper Hotel? Can I go Google it? Is this where I want to stay in Dallas? Because this is a great reward on this one. This one down here, about $1,200. So that'd be $240. You can see there's a little wider gap there. So anyway, those are just things that I look out for when I'm purchasing travel. That's just to help you out as an agent. Back to how do we sell MyQuility really quickly. The other place that we've seen agents use this is at the end of either a sale or a no sale. Now we have to be careful. And so Chris, you keep me honest on this. We can't offer anything that is an incentive for buying insurance, right? So be careful with your language there. You're not giving them MyQuility since they bought insurance for you, right? Nothing like that. But at the end of a sale or a no sale, you can say, hey, we have a member rewards program that we use as agents. It's completely free. I'd love to send you my link to sign up for it. This is where you can save money on, if you go to our coupons, like Brittany showed you, you can save on Eat Shop Play. Our normal customers right now are saving between $35 and $50 per month just doing their normal activities, right? So if you bring home pizza one night a week, if you eat out one night a week, if you eat lunch one night a week because you're not, you know, in a home office, you're out there somewhere, and so you got to go get lunch. So pulling this up and just using a coupon for a Subway sandwich or a, you know, we have Jersey Mike's here in North Carolina. So, you know, that's $600 a year that's being saved just for doing what you already do and for pulling up a coupon on your mobile phone and showing it to somebody. In addition, if they travel, you know, if you book like your summer vacation, like you do a full week somewhere, you can get a pretty big reward off of that. I mean, I got $200 off of a weekend. You can easily get $400 or $500 off a summer vacation if you're booking like early enough. If you're not booking on a weekend when everybody goes to the beach, right? All those factors that affect hotel rooms. So you can save a lot of money that way. Monthly prescriptions. For somebody with a high deductible or someone who's having to pay just to go see the doctor every month, you can save them on Quality RX, Me MD. And so we've had a lot of agents have some success at the end as sort of a, hey, I just want to leave this with you. I think this will save you a lot of money. This will benefit your family. Right now, you know, there's a downturn in the economy. And so we want to put cash back in your pocket. This is just something that we do because what's one of our core values? We believe in people over products. And so we just want to offer this to you. And so that's where we've seen most of our agents give us feedback that it works well. Some have actually sent it from Switchboard early. There are 3 scripts in there to introduce MyQuility. And they've done that before they actually have a meeting face-to-face and talk about it there. I don't have a lot of feedback on that one, but I would certainly say if you feel like that would work well for you, like, let me give it on the front end. Hey, here's a free benefit my company has. Doesn't matter if you buy from me or not, you know, I'll see you in our appointment on Wednesday. Just let us know. Let Chris know if that works. We'd love some feedback on that. So that was a lot of me talking, and we've used a decent amount of time. What questions do you have? What can Brittany and I try to answer? And then we'll let you get to your normal call and leaderboards, because I know you want to see those leaderboards.
Yeah, Jerry, I think a couple questions came in. So one being no cash back on flights, but shouldn't we get points? So flights do not, you do not receive points or cash back on flights. So Jerry, I'll let you elaborate on what you actually receive points for on travel.
Yeah, so on travel, it is hotels in particular, and rental cars that you book in advance. So there is a way in here to book a rental car and just say, no, I'm going to pay for it when I get there. You actually lose the reward on that because when you get to the counter, there's a lot less margin. And if there's no margin, there's just nothing we can do. So hotels and rental cars booked in advance give rewards points. Flights do not. Flights don't have a whole lot of margin at all to start with. And then when you go through a service like ours or hotels, Orbitz, flights.com, Kayak, any of those, there's already a reduction built in. So out of any margin that the airlines were getting, we've already chiseled that away. So you're getting a heck of a deal on flights. but there's nothing left there. We make nothing off of it. There's no points. It's just a service to y'all is all that it is.
Perfect. Great. And then Spencer said that I give mine out always after the client purchases their product. So yeah, we'd love to hear any feedback on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Of how that's working for you. If they, if those clients give any feedback as well, that's great to hear. And then another question from Sydney, that you tried to book travel and hotels were not getting what we chose to reserve. Yeah, so that your question, it just depends on the hotel itself. And again, like Jerry said, the availability, depending on the weekend, if it's a high traffic weekend, that can depend on what the hotel is offering at this discount. So there is some things on the back end that have to be, go through the hotel before those are set in place. But this is probably a bad example because the price went up, and no one would do this if the price went up. But you can see after I clicked on the hotel, here's the one that was on the beginning image, right? This is the one with the most cash back. Notice if I scroll down though, I can find one that loses the cash back. And so if I actually book this one as an agent or as a client, there is no reward on this one because it's not showing any reward on this one. And so you notice on these, they say free cancellation. You can always look at the room details and it sort of gives you the fine print there. There is also a way, if I click on book now, which I actually can't do because this is a fake person. But if you book now, there is a way in there and it's not very expensive. But it basically says like, hey, for $4.80, we'll give you the ability to cancel anytime, even if this was a non-cancellation room. And so I would encourage you to go in there and play around with that. You don't have to put your credit card in and actually book the room. Please book your travel in here though. It'll save you money and it'll give you rewards points. But you can go in and take a look at that. Sometimes that $4.80 is really worth it. Like it's not very expensive, especially on flights too. We've had some people, their flight got canceled and the only thing we could do is refund like with the airline. Right. So there's a credit at American Airline you can use the next time if you book American Airline. But again, there's a small fee you can add on that gives you cancellation at any point in time, including if you're standing on the tarmac about to board the plane and decide, nah. And so just look for those things. Sometimes they are well worth it. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Well, that was all the questions I saw come through. I know we're running up on time, but thank you again, Chris, for allowing us to be here and chat with your team. And of course, any questions that you guys have, you're welcome to reach out at help@myquility.com. And we're happy to answer any of those questions. So we'll just leave you with, everyone get on there. If you haven't been on there, go in there, sign up under HQ as an agent. So you get that agent instance, use that share MyQuility button, make sure you're sharing it with your clients and really just get in there and start using the platform yourself. Like Jerry said, just play around with it. You're not going to break anything. And once you feel more comfortable using it yourself, you're going to feel more comfortable talking and speaking to it with your clients as well. So that's what we got for you. And we really appreciate the time.
That was awesome. I really appreciate Brittany and Jerry, you all jumping on and walking us through this. I mean, I think it's such a powerful tool and one that we can't highlight enough. If you can't sell free, what you're probably in the wrong business. This is a program that's free for our clients, brings them value, brings them money, and helps us in our business. So I think it's one of those rare win-win-win opportunities. And really appreciate you all coming on today and sharing it with us.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you all. All right, gang. So moving on, this is a call of special guests. You knew about our first two special guests. However, we sprung another one on you here, kind of a last minute. I was having a conversation yesterday with the one and only Scott Mank, and talking about where we're at, winding up the end of the year, and just some of the things that we're accomplishing together as a team. And man, just some of the numbers that we're seeing come through that you all are putting up are just phenomenal. Scott and I were talking about that, and there's a real opportunity in finishing up this year. December's always a strong month for us, but an opportunity for each and every one of you to really check off some check off some of our personal accomplishments, but also set up for a solid year in 2023. There's a lot of uncertainty going on right now in the world and the economy, but you are in a business that is, I hesitate to use the word recession proof, because I mean, things get a little sideways. It could affect, any and all of us at some level. But of all the industries out there, the one that has been most consistent, even in down times, has been the insurance industry. And no one knows that better than our guest that we're bringing on, Mr. Scott Mank, who's been in this industry for many years, and has actually been through some serious ups and downs in the economy, and seen what this business has done. So Scott, welcome to the call, and thanks for taking a little time to pop on and share with us.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got some superstars on this team. I'll tell you what. I'm looking at the line I got up here in front of me. I'm like, wow, each one of these people have had a good year. And that means a lot. But, you touched on something, Chris. I think this is really important, before we really talk about really the end of the year and what's coming forward. One of the things I think is important, and I appreciate Chris being very good about saying many years and how many there were. No, I'm kidding. I usually say decades now, over 3 decades. So the one thing I've learned through that process is absolutely, I hear what Chris is saying, we can't say that it's absolute. Nothing's really an absolute like that. But I've been through some stuff in this business. We've been through 2 or 3 different pandemics before. We had the biggest one, Chris, was the 911, the 9/11. That was the big one. I remember when I was up in the morning, I was sitting at my kitchen table, I was having a cup of coffee, I was doing some stuff before I went to the office, and I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden I see something go right through a building. I'm like, what's this all about, right? And all of a sudden you see the second one come through. I said, this is serious. And once we knew what was going on, I remember sitting there going, oh boy, I think we're out of business. I really did. And I'll never forget that. So I called my secretary and I said, Carol, I said, get everyone together, let's meet and we'll go on in. And it was really interesting going in. We had some folks that were down like, oh, Scott, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I just said, we do what we do, and we do what we do best, right? Right now, I've been through some things in this business, and I do know that right now, people are thinking about family. They are worried about the safety, but they're really worried about the safety of their family and what can happen, right? And I remember having that meeting. And they're like, Scott, that makes sense. That makes sense. And we had our biggest year. I kid you not, Chris. We had our biggest year that year. And I always tell folks, things could be up, it could be down, it could be sideways. But there are always people out there, the number one thing that they want in life is to protect either their family or protect something that they have, right? Whether it's a home or anything of that nature. And it's just that important. I love what Brandon and Casey said. They started a business on mortgage protection in one of the worst situations with real estate, right? I mean, it's crazy, right? It just, and like Brandon said, he goes, I'm glad we didn't know about it. They might not have started. And so I think that's what's really, really important, folks. It's not, don't worry about what's around you. I mean, to me, Chris and I, we know it's good to know what's going on out there. I get that, right? I'm not one of these 24-hour on the news system watching and listening to everything that goes on that keeps repeating it through my head every hour, right? I don't do that. I do keep up what's going on with the world, but I don't let it affect my world. Right? I won't let it affect this world and this agency, because things tend to change. Things that go up got to come down. Things go down, they come up. They tend to do that, right? And so, but what we need to do is just make sure that we're taking care of the folks out there that have a fear right now, right? A lot of it's fear. They're worried about their family. What if I die tomorrow? And all of a sudden now I'm in this situation with this house. Now interest rates are up. Maybe I'm top heavy, whatever it could be, right? I want to make sure this thing's paid off. People think about that stuff. They're thinking more about it now than usually when things are good. So I just want to say that to everybody. Don't allow that stuff to get you down. I've been through it enough. I've been way through it enough. And so I get it. But other than that, that being said, we're at the end of the year, folks. And I tell you what, this is usually the exciting time of year. Can I tell you this, Chris? I don't know if you know this. We've had more AOs people become AOs at the end of the year in this agency. If anything else, October, November, December. And every time I talk to them in October, well, Scott, I guess I have to wait till next year. Why? Well, the holidays, that's in your head. That's the thing too, folks. You got to get some of these things out between the ears. You know, I have this all the time back in the days, you know, agents, and still to this day. Oh man, Scott, I'm telling you right now, here comes, it's going to be a struggle. Here comes December. What's wrong with December? Well, it's the holidays. What happened? Well, they close shop. I mean, you're not allowed to sell insurance in December. What's the problem? Well, no, it's just no one buys. The problem is, it's not that they don't buy, you just don't show up. Right. And then I used to sell a ton of business in December, because guess what? The other agents aren't showing up. They've already got in their mind it's not going to happen. And you know why? Because they don't want to work. They want to get into the holiday spirit already, most cases, right? My greatest week ever, greatest week, I should say weeks, but week has been that week between Christmas and first of the year, and first of the year. And so what's nice about that is this year is Christmas is on Sunday. New Year's Day is on Sunday, right? So you don't have it in the middle of the thing, right? So that is where you're going to have some of your best sales. People are thinking about, I sold, I kid you not, Chris, that one week I sold 12 applications that were all on kids. All on kids, just the 12 of the applications. And they were thinking about their kids, right? They're wanting to make sure they have something, you know, down the road. We sold a lot of ULs then on those, but I mean, people are thinking, right? And this is a time of year where people have their pocketbooks open. They're spending money, and they're going to spend it for the right things too. And that's usually the insurance. And typically what's going to happen for you all that are building on this team, even on the sales side, both sides, this is the time to be doing it. People right now are looking for some change. Everyone does that. They look at their life, that it's the end of the year. And not only on the sales side, they're looking at, okay, am I fully covered? Do I have all these things? Am I in good shape? Should I talk to another insurance agent? Am I paying too much what I have right now? There's so many different things, folks. I used to do a lot in November and December of talking to people and saying, hey, can I give you an insurance overview? Maybe we can do better for you. Yeah, that makes sense. I did more of that in November and December because people are looking at just making sure everything in the household's right. It's the end of the year thing, right? And so I would do that. But I'm telling you right now, from November till March, end of March, is one of your biggest times to recruit. Trust me on this. It's huge. If you see people all of a sudden start taking off by February, March, I'm telling you, it's because they're recruiting, and the recruiting is high right now, very high. And I'm talking about even recruiting. If you go to Costco and drop off your cars to someone with the video on the back, people will watch it. They'll look at it. They're looking for opportunities, right? It's very, very important. I've hired people that way. So you want to make sure you take advantage of this time. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to write business and you're not going to, recruit during the rest of the year. I'm not saying that. But what's going to happen is if you get started now, it's going to absolutely set up your year. You've probably heard Brandon say that. It is so true, folks. It happens every time. Every time I see what we do, every time I see November, December, and then I see January, and then if you have a great December, it absolutely does great for you January. Here's another thing I hear from an agent. Oh, it's Christmas is now over, right? No one's spending money. They don't want to buy insurance because they've spent all their money on Christmas, right? There's always excuses, right? Can't write business in December because everybody's enjoying this Christmas, right? Now it's the end of December. Now everyone's spent all their money. So by the time you got through all these excuses, it's February, right? And so now you're behind the 8 ball, big time behind the 8 ball. You can't think that way. You can't think that way because once you get that roll going in November, December, man, January, it just sets up your January. And when you set up a good January, it sets up your year. Trust me on that, it does. You'll see things change by March. We've seen the biggest jumps in people's, as far as not only what they made, but when we look at their AV, I mean, we see people doubling their AVs. And that's on the sales side, and that's also on the recruiting side. I mean, I can give you an example with us. We always pop up. We typically get our biggest pop-up between January and March in this agency. One of our biggest, we were at 177,000 by the end of December. By the end of March, we went from 177,000 to 395,000. Jacob Poe was at 188. I think he said they ended up getting up to something like 298 or 268, right? Or I'm sorry, 368. I'm sorry. You see those kind of jumps. That's why that is so important. It will set up the rest of your year. So when I'm talking about jumping from 368 or jumping from 395, the beauty of that is it's not a fluke thing. It's not something that just pops up and it goes back down. That's your next running number. That will be your running number. Trust me on this. When we got to 395, we never saw less than that the rest of the year. It just kept going up. That's what I'm saying. And on the sales side, we see more of the big producers hit real well in January, February, and March. And that just sets up, that's the plateau that sets up the rest of your year. It's absolutely amazing how that works, folks. It really is. So you want to be on the top of that. You want to make sure that you're hitting these months to make sure you can be successful. And that is why we see, and I'm going to go back again on why we saw so many people become AOs in the months of October, November, December. You know, I think I see a couple folks. I know you were there, Stella. But we had people, I think it was a couple of years ago, and this was when we had the pandemic, right? We were number one. This agency was number one of all of Symmetry on the biggest increase. On the biggest increase. We had the biggest increase of anybody for that fourth quarter. And man, and I tell you what was interesting about that year, it gave us a giant 2021. And the other thing about that's interesting too, Chris, is not only did we have a big increase in AV that year, the sad thing was we had our lowest recruiting. We had our lowest recruiting because a lot of it was affected through back then because it was ZipRecruiter kicking people out, things like that. So we kind of we did great coming out of 2020, but it hurt us on the recruiting, right? But y'all did well, right? You know, I was in there going at it, trying to find some really things we could do. I know, Chris, you were involved. But everyone fought it through, right? So now we went into 22. Okay. 22, a little bit slow on the recruiting, but we came out of 2021 into 22 really good, had a good December, January, went into February, March. Our recruiting then started really hitting hard and really well, probably right around August, right? And I can tell you guys, and don't use an excuse, but usually your toughest recruiting months is July, October. I don't know why it's always been that way, okay? But don't use that as an excuse, just blow through it. But the thing is, now what I've seen with this group is now our recruiting's up. You're seeing that we're really looking good. I think last November we had like 20 new riders. I see this team, seriously, I don't know if I told you, Chris, but I see this team that I'm positive by the time we get through the first, we'll probably be bringing on at least 35 new riders a month. 35 new riders a month. If we're doing that, you all are in good shape, trust me. But I see a minimum of 35 I was looking at over, and I think we're going to jump to that. So our recruiting has really jumped up. Right now is the big time for you to help yourself in the recruiting arena to be able to do that. The sales side, I see a very big year. You know, last year when in 2020, we had a good, you know, we hit 6 million, a little over 6 million. This year we hit over 7 million. Okay. And so we have been really very fortunate, this team, that we've never had a down year. We've always increased each year. That just shows that we've got a lot of people on here that are very successful. Right. I could see 2023 probably being one of our biggest months. I mean, biggest years, I apologize, because I think we're going to be on hitting both gears real well. We're going to be hitting the sales side real well. And we're also going to be hitting the recruiting side real well. I do know, and I'm not promoting right now, I'm just bringing it out there, but I'm seeing a lot of good things going on right now. And let me explain this, that one of the things that's been working real well, I've talked to about 4 people on this team that's using certain leads right now. They're using the Razor Ridge. I am not saying going out there and get Razor Ridge right now. You have to understand these things. But the people that are doing that right now, they're going through the process. They will be also people that I've talked to that's going to put a meeting together so we can all talk about how they're doing it. Miranda had one. I've got some people on our team right now doing well, but this is something that you just don't jump in like A leads and all of a sudden you're setting up appointments that week and going at it. This is something that's going to take some time, some understanding, some learning curve to get it. But once you get it, it makes sense. Okay. And I'm hoping, Chris, I know you and I talked about it a little bit, but that's something that we will be working with certain few people that look like we can really work with to help you guys work forward with this and help you get rolling. Because, they're writing, I'm not going to say the numbers because it is overwhelming and I don't want to go by numbers, but I'm telling you right now, they're doing very well with it. I just had a conversation with one of those people today. So that's something that we're going to look at here in 2023 is yes, make sure you're still getting your A leads. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But what I'm saying is do your A leads, do your CI leads, get those, B1 leads. But we also want to make sure that we can get you starting to move into that Razor Ridge because that is what's going to be in the future right now. And I know a couple things right now ahead of the game right now that it is something we do need to know about because of what's coming up through the ranks right now through the company. So that's really, really important. So just kind of give you guys a little bit of an overview with that. So once again, I just want to say I'm very proud of you all. Y'all are just doing a fantastic job. And one of the things I think is really important to understand, you guys are kind of in a good place right now. Why is that? Because of Chris Menefee. Okay. There's something that's going on with Chris right now. It happened with me, happened with Jacob, people like that. And one of the things that was really big for our team, which was really important, was the day Jacob was going for 120. I remember that really well because when he was going for 120, one thing I love about this company, what I love about the teams and our team especially, is we have a way of wanting to root for the person, right? We want to push hard. We want to help, right? Because that's what what I do now as a 120, I'm always paying it forward. I'm always paying it forward, folks. I never forget the things that this team did when I was making my run. I'll never forget it. I talk about it all the time. I talk about how you guys weren't going to mess around. I remember that time when I talked to y'all, I said, listen, let's take this next 3 months and use it as warm up. And in the next 3 months, I know we'll probably hit it because there's 5 weeks. Well, I always brag about it. I say, no, these folks didn't want to hear any of that. They just took on the first 3 months with the 4 weeks and just did it. I mean, you guys just crushed it. I mean, you absolutely crushed it. If there was ever a time, Chris, I was going to be emotional, that was the time. Because I tell you what, that was amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you guys just crushed every part of that. When I talked to Kate Henderson is the one that handles that, everything with 120. She told me, she says, Scott, you guys absolutely destroyed the numbers. I said, that's the team I got. I said, that's the team I got, man. They don't mess around. And she says, Scott, that's awesome. She goes, that's awesome. But I mean, that's what we have. So when Jacob was making that run, we saw a big change in our team. We saw a lot of people jump to AO. We had people jump into rec. I think you, Chris, I think you were already on your way or something close to regional. I mean, I seen people jumping into promotions. It was just absolutely crazy. Then when I went for my run, and that was in 2019, man, that's when I seen some things happen. I know, Chris, I think you jumped about 2 or 3 promotions real quick. We had other people that were jumping up in the agency owner. They were team leaders, key leaders. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy. And what I'm talking about is when we all work together for that common ground, to be able to push someone to something like that, it not only affects them, but it affects you. It absolutely affects you. And I've seen it so many times, and it's just amazing to me. Well, like I was saying, we have someone else that's on that move right now, and that's Mr. Chris Menefee. And right now, I think, it can't be in a better time. I know he's trying to hit his 3rd month of his promotion. We are right in it, folks. We are right in the best time to be able for you to get promotions. I mean, December's a 5-week month, folks. If you've got that first month or that second month, or if you're new and you're trying to get a promotion on the, I always forget the name. What is that again? Our promotion.
Slingshot.
Thank you. The slingshot. I swear, there's like 50 different things I gotta say. I never can remember them all. But anyway, you got your slingshot, so you might hit this. You might hit it this month from promotion, right? You got 5 weeks. But I would take advantage of that because between now and March, these are some good times. These are good times to write business, to be able to go up on your slingshots and to be moving forward. But once again, what's nice about Chris running for that promotion, and that's what we're shooting for this month, the beauty of that is while you're pushing hard for that, you have no idea what you've done for yourself. You have no idea. I mean, it really helps you through your business. And I'm going to tell you right now, that run that we did with Jacob was one of the biggest things ever for our agency. I know when I was running for it, it was the biggest situation for a lot of folks that are on this team now. And so what I'm saying is, folks, is what we need to do is, man, let's take advantage of this end of this year. I mean, we are the fourth quarter kids. I mean, we do fantastic. I tell you, the one thing Chris and I talk about, this is amazing about this team. We end months incredible. I mean, I remember I used to talk to Chris all the time and say, wow, we're having a kind of a slow month. I said, no, just wait till next week. Wait till the end of the week, end of month. You'll see this thing change. Sure enough, you guys just crush it when it's that 12th hour, right? It's the same thing on this fourth quarter on the end of year. I've never seen a team that can absolutely crush it like you all do on a fourth quarter. And so right now would be great is to take advantage of this fourth quarter right now, not only to be able to help yourself in your business, getting promotions, everything like that, but also we can also help Chris move forward to hit that third month. And I think that would be just absolutely awesome, because what would be great is getting Chris at that 120, which now it's 130. But once we get to that 120, the beauty of that is Chris is going to learn a lot. He's going to understand, like myself, on how it's going to help, how he can help others move up. That's the beauty of getting to the 120. It's not about Chris. It's not about me direct. It's about how can we now help you all move. And that's what's important. And that's what I love. Chris and I will talk. I'll talk to him about things to try to help him how to get there. And I want Chris to feel like, you know, Scott, I appreciate the conversations, but guess what? I did it. The team did it, right? And that's what's important. It's all about the team and how you all did it. And that's what I did when I hit it. I literally went back and looked at everybody on this team and just looked at what happened in those 2-3 months and how big of changes there were. It was just absolutely amazing. So really right now, folks, is what I just wanted to talk about today is, man, this is push time for y'all, right? Get those extra, you know, promotions, get anything or anything you're running on, you know, it's something you just personally want to hit, some kind of goal, right? Let's go for that. Because I'll tell you what, the beauty of it is it's a 1-2 punch. If you can do that, if we know that Chris is going to move up for another promotion, I know y'all is going to hit what you want to hit. And I think that's the most important right there. So other than that, that's what I wanted to talk about is just let's end this year really good. I promise you, if you have a good November, December, I know a lot of you had a great November. Let's get this 5-week December. You'll see yourself catapult through next year. If you have you should have a great January, February, and from then you'll see a fantastic March, and then the year just goes on the way it should. Okay.
Awesome.
Anything at all? Does anything have a statement? Anything? I'd love to hear anybody. How y'all doing? What are y'all shooting for this month? I'd like to hear if anyone's got any goals or if there's anything, a promotion. Is there any promotions out there that anyone's shooting for December? Is there anybody? Just curious.
Yeah, we've got a lot of promotions in the works for, we got some key leaders that are breaking out here.
Awesome. There you see. There you go.
Soon. Yes, and you know, we've got some newly licensed people. I'm super duper excited to have Peggy here. This is her first time with us, and she's been licensed for, oh my goodness, same as you. I think 30 years. Is that right, Peggy?
Oh wow, 30 years, she say?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There you go. She's up there with me. Okay, she understands.
Jim just brought her on, and we got a lot of people on here that are just getting their license. So we're going to see them. You'll have some new writers this month with Joanna. Super excited for her, and got some other people that are in a process of taking their tests, like Justin. And there's, you know, some people that couldn't make it because they were working, But absolutely, yeah, you're going to see a lot more writers this month, and this is an awesome month. I'm not working Christmas Day, so hope nobody mistakes that. But
We gotta have a
surrounded
day
around, yeah,
Absolutely.
Scott, this time in the pandemic is when I made my AO run,
Yep.
and it's crazy. That was like my first year in business, and I was like, what? My first real full year.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize the impact of people being home and really wanting to, you know, they're like you once said, Chris said that everybody gets together for the holidays and they're exchanging stories, you know, about stuff that happened over the year with Uncle Joe, Cousin Betty, or whoever it was. And, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, you know, I mean, there's a lot going on out there, and it's more than ever, they want us to help them, and more than ever they're home because they're normally too busy working, so now they're home. So I couldn't agree with you more. Now is the best time.
It is.
I love
You know,
it.
I remembered one time on a Thanksgiving, I had a meeting like this, and I was talking about Thanksgiving week, and I had a young lady just pop up, and she goes, you know, I hate to say this, Scott, and you might be right, I don't know, but you know, that's Thanksgiving week, and there's no one's going to buy insurance. I said, really? I said, how do you know this? Well, I said, how long you been doing this? Well, I just started doing this. Oh, okay. So but someone told you that? You know, well, no, I'm just figuring that because everyone's getting ready for Thanksgiving and everything. I said, well, that's on Thursday, right? That's Thursday. That ain't the whole week. That's Thursday. But she motivated me. So what did I do? Chris knows this story. This was back in when we had to be in homes, right? We didn't have Zoom or anything like that. So I looked in their inventory. I found a bunch of A leads in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I was living in Illinois then. So I hop in my car, drive off to Cincinnati. I get there on a Friday evening, started making phone calls, made phone calls on Saturdays, made phone calls on Sundays. I set these appointments up. I set up 16 appointments for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I mean, I crushed it, right? I'm in a hotel room by my house. I crushed it. I ended up writing a little over $15,000 that 3 days. Got in a car that evening, came home and had Turkey Thursday, had the meeting on Friday. And I said, and I showed the leaderboards, and I was on top of leaderboards with over 15,000. She was on there. I said, wow, this was Thanksgiving week. You know, and she said, she goes, I might've ate turkey, but I'm eating crow now. And she's great. But it's all in your mindset, folks. It's all mindset. And, you know, you might be saying, well, wait a minute, Scott, you know, you're there for those 3 days, you know, what if they really couldn't see you? The interesting thing about it was I learned a lot from that. And I used what I did there when I got back home, because I lived in Illinois and I worked in St. Louis. So it was a 314 area code, but mine was a 618 in Illinois. So they might have thought I was in Chicago, right? But I'm only a half hour away from St. Louis. So when I was in Cincinnati, I would call up and say, hey, Heather, the reason why I'm calling is, you know, you sent this in for mortgage protection. And I want to let you know, I'm only in here for 3 days. I'm here for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The reason being is I am from Illinois. I just drove in this weekend. There's a lot of people I need to see, and there's no one taking care of you right now. I know this is an interest to you, but like I said, I'm only here Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Would 1 o'clock on Monday or Tuesday at 2 o'clock work? Well, you know, I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving. I got people coming in. Oh, great. That's awesome. When are they coming in? Well, they're coming in on Wednesday. Okay, well then, like I said, is Monday 1 o'clock or Tuesday good? Well, I got them cooking and I'm doing all that. Oh, I understand. But I'll tell you what, I am seeing someone I see someone at 12 and I'm seeing someone at 12:30. Could we make it maybe 1:15 or 1:20 if it's tight around that noon time? Well, yeah, I guess 1:15 will work. Or I have people saying, listen, Scott, I'm telling you, I can't see. I said, well, I am so sorry. I apologize. Hopefully we'll get someone out here to take care of you. But like I said, I'm only here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. But, you know, I really wish there was somewhere I could just maybe get you in between a couple appointments here where I can take 15, 20 minutes of your time. You know, would 12:15 work for you? I used to do a lot of 1:15, 12:45 things. And they'll go, okay, we'll do it on 12:15. Okay, great. But what it did for me was it constricted me so much that I wasn't going to give up. right? I knew, and eventually they're telling you, I can't, I got this, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I can do that. So you sure you're going to be there at 1:15? I promise I'm going to be there. Awesome, because I want to make sure I take care of you. That way, you know, this is all taken care of, and then you can have a great time with your family. Yeah, you know, and they're in a good mood, right? They're in a good mood, so I kept bringing it up. But folks, that's what I did. So when I came back home, I was calling my St. Louis leads and saying, hey, I'm only over here for 4 days, which was true, right? I'm here for 4 days this week, and I really need to talk with you. You know, I got a lot of people that are interested. You know, it's when I can see you. And I made that to a point. So I said, so I'm really busy, but on Monday and Tuesday, I'm better in the afternoons. Matter of fact, 1 o'clock or 2 would work, which would be best for you. And once you get like that, you can control your calendar as much as, I mean, people always say, Scott, how do you keep from having nighttime, or how come you get so many daytime? It's because I ask for them. I ask for them. And I kind of went on a tear here. Sorry about that, Chris. But once again, you know, it's the same thing with the holidays. It has nothing to do with the holidays, folks. It's in between years, and that's the key to that. And when you're losing the time there, because these people are in a good mood. Why am I very successful on Friday afternoons when I make phone calls? Because people are happy. Saturday mornings, why do I call? People are happy, right? And that's typically the good times to call. So take advantage of this right now. And people, the agents that want to get their right business, they take advantage of this time. They truly do. So, but
Awesome.
let's not forget about Chris, guys. I love him. He's a great guy. I know he's super mentor. But boy, if we could just push for ourselves, you know, get ourselves promotions, do whatever we can. Think about it. Not only are you going to be helping yourself, you're going to be helping a client make sure they're protected, but also you're going to help your mentor here, Chris. And I can't think of anyone better. That I've always told him I'd work under him in a heartbeat. So.
Well, Scott, I'm going to put in a hierarchy change form. I welcome you to the team, and excited to have you on board.
Well, there you go. There you go. I'll start right next week.
That's right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Scott, for hopping on, and you know, great. And I love your story about traveling to Cincinnati, because, you know, and hopefully, you know, obviously we're in a digital world, and we're selling a different way, but the mindset doesn't change. The mindset doesn't change, and that's what it's about. It's not about where or how you're selling. It's the mindset behind how you sell, and you can have that same you know, decisiveness of, hey, I'm available, you know, the next you know, I'm available today to talk to you. I'm available today and tomorrow to talk to you. You have that ability to you know, to put those boundaries in place and make sure your clients work on your schedule, and obviously we want to be flexible and help them, but we also run a business. You know, you don't see a doctor's office that you know, just, I'm talking about not a hospital, but just a clinic where they're open 24/7. You know, you schedule an appointment at 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and if you can't get there in that time, well, sorry, you're going to have to, you know, maybe go to the emergency room or something like that, and instead wait for a few hours. That's just not how the world works. And so if we treat our businesses the same way, and our control of our schedule, that is, you know, that's huge. So. Guys, let's hit some quick leaderboards. We're going to blow through these really quick. We want to make sure we recognize everybody, but stay on. Important announcement at the end, so don't miss out. But let's roll through this real quick so we can get everybody off on their Friday, finish up the week strong, and get started for the next week. The call, obviously, we had our special guests, so awesome to have them on and to share with you. And we'll talk more about that as we move forward, guys. That's a huge program, but. Month to or November, excuse me, leaderboards. I'm gonna, oops, looks like I'm already hitting the wrong button. Let's just hit top 5 here. Top 5 for the no, let's run through the top 10. We got time to do it. Stephanie Stubbs, $9,072. Mr. John Paul Vetter jumping back in, $9,146. Donna Bates, $9,585. Donna, great job, and that's with a lot going on in her life, and just hats off to her for her perseverance. Kay Schweitzer had $9,671. Stacy Love, number 6, $10,184. Also, Stacy had quite a bit going in November, still managed to crank out over 10 grand. Great job, Stacy. Sylvia Collins, $12,049. Jenny Gray, $15,715. Alicia Metzen, $18,596. Stella Dinwiddie, leading from the front, $24,413. Number one, no stranger to number one, Mr. Spencer Cushion, $27,213. Gang, that's just getting it done. Great job, Spencer. The app count lead, and again, this one I will move up to top 5 here because we got a bunch of names down there below number 5. But Alicia Metzen had 14 applications. Jenny Gray had 15. Stacy Love, 19 applications. Man, awesome app count. Spencer Cushion, 21 applications. But the leader, 22 applications, Miss Stella Dinwiddie, which means, of course, she is our Golden Chicken Award winner. And a multi-time golden. She's going to have like an entire, we're going to have to build a golden chicken coop for you, Stella, to keep all your golden chicken awards together. That's awesome. Great job, Stella. Base shops, we had Mr. John Paul Vetter, 145,710. Good news, that number is actually going to be dropping. And the reason that's good news is because we have a new agency owner, Miss Joanna Doyben, so you'll be starting to see a split out of her business on the next month's leaderboards. Base shop came in number 2, $46,983, and Stella Dinwiddie agency came in $37,972. App count, the Better agency 154, the Menefee base shop at 49, and the Dinwiddie agency at 42 applications. I've seen the note. As of 8:45 Central Time, this was the leaderboards for the week. And of course, we have a lot of business turned in on Fridays. We have until midnight Eastern for that business to count. So still keep running your appointments and getting that business in. 62 apps, $69,493 so far on the week, with $124,019 on the month, and 21 writers. Agency owners, and we're already starting to see that breakout. So John Paul Vetter, agency number 1, $34,974. The Menefee base shop, $17,977. Dinwiddie agency at $13,434, and the Doyben agency, say that for the first time, the Doyben agency, $3,107. Top producers in reverse order, top 5, Stacy Love, 10 applications, $5,186. Edged out by Mr. Spencer Cushion, 6 applications, $5,876. Myself, I got the retirement appointment completed this week, 1 application, $6,000. Sylvia Collins, 4 applications, $9,000.60. Let's get that 60 cents in there. Cleared that 9,000 mark. But the number 1 agent producer, Sydney Lee, 6 applications, $10,644.96. That is a awesome week, Sydney. Great job. We see there, I forgot to hit key leader, Eric Sullivan and Jenny Gray. And then we had a new writer, Tina Morris, with the Better agency. But I want to circle back in and say a big shout out to Sydney Lee with a $10,000 week, 6 applications. Guys, that is awesome. Sydney, hats off to you for your dedication and hard work, and appreciate all your efforts. Guys, Jeremy Minor training last session will be next Thursday, December the 15th. Go back, listen to those calls over and over again. Guys, can't stress enough how good this training is, but training is only as good as the amount of time that you spend internalizing that. And so it's one thing to go listen to it one time and get some good points from it, but you got to listen to it several times. So go back through all the trainings. This is a very good sales system. I'm not going to spend a lot of time due to our constraints this morning, but keep plugging into this. Role play training, guys, and this is kind of a spinoff of what the minor training is. We're having some great sessions on Mondays, and the whole point is to take what we're learning in these training sessions throughout the week, put it into practice so we can put it into our system. And this gives you an opportunity to get real-time feedback. So join us on Mondays, and obviously pick your time zone. It's we do a 30 minutes, so be ready to go, and we'll help you out and grow your business. Quality digital lead orders. Not going to spend a lot of time on this morning, but standing lead orders, guys. You want a steady business, you got to have steady inventory. So get those standing lead orders set up. Strongly encourage you to make sure your lead flow is good. The FIF resets, man, this is another huge piece. We got so many key pieces. And again, the training is only as good as your engagement with the training. So be plugging into this FIF resets 101 if you're not doing that in your system already. And adopt the mindset. I love what Mike Resma is pushing. We all need to get to a point where we do not have a no sale. There is no such thing as a no sale, and especially what we went over the first part of the call this morning with MyQuility. I mean, we've got a program there that everybody you talk to, regardless if they sign an application for insurance, we've got to at least be signing them up for the MyQuility program, guys. And that's just, again, part of getting into the habit, but getting off on this FIF resets. This is another area where if you do not get a mortgage protection or a life application, at the very minimum, put them through an FIF reset and give the advanced markets team a chance to to really help out your business. Slingshot and s'mores. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on that this morning due to time constraints. Always keep that in mind, especially for those of you who are bringing on new agents. If you're a new agent, you're seeing this for the first time, go talk to your mentor. Hey, why haven't you told me about this? I can make extra money. So get promotions. Learn about that. Learn it, love it, live it. Guys, this is going to be exciting. We haven't done this for a while, but Leader Summit coming up next March. March 21st and 22nd. And the good news is you have time to qualify for this. And I love what they did is they said key leader or above, but they give you the opportunity between now and then. If you hit just 1 month of qualification for key leader, meaning you have three other riders beside yourself, and issue at least 20,000 APV for your team, you've qualified as you've qualified for 1 year months of key leader, and we'll get an invite. So make that happen. These are huge events. This is all leadership, gang. So a lot of the people that you see every week on the national call, you'll be spending a lot of time around. So this is a great time to make connections, maybe somebody that you've heard them talk on a national call, and man, you're just impressed with them. You want to go meet them in person. This is the place to do it. Welcome to the team. Hey, any and all new agents, those of you who are recruiting, building teams, be driving people to this call. We want engagement. We want our new people to feel welcome and to get an opportunity to connect. And so join us Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central. Do your own time adjustments, but we have a quick call and a chance to meet some of our new team members. Thursday book club is starting back up. We had a little break with world traveler Miss Stella Dinwiddie going on vacation, but she is back and running hard. And so join us on Thursday. The 5 Voices. This is an awesome book. Plenty of time to catch up. We're still in the early phases of this book, and you can jump in at any time, and we'd be happy to welcome you in. And the mystery contest. Not much to say about this other than if Symmetry says it's the biggest thing they've ever done, it will be, it's going to be massive. So even though you don't know what it is, I'm sure you will want to win it. So make sure that you're putting in whatever you can do in the way of numbers to be able to qualify for this, whatever this is going to be. Don't know what it is, but I think you'll want to win it. Here's our big announcement, gang. Pay attention. This applies to you. Ugly sweater, Christmas sweater contest next Friday. Team call. we're going to make this into a contest. I'm going to actually put something behind this, not just because we want everybody in an ugly sweater. Let's just put it in. And if we have to pay you to put you in an ugly sweater, that's what we're going to do. So join us, find your best ugly sweater, and let's have some fun. We will have a great call next week, gang. For those of you who are here wanting to build a business, very special guest, my recruiter, Ann Blake, is going to be on. Ann's got a long track record in recruiting, and so she's going to be talking to us about some of the tools and tips that you can learn to implement into your business and actually start growing your agencies. And maybe if you're already recruiting, what can you do to take that to the next level? So be on the call next week and have your very best ugly sweater on, because again, there will be a contest attached to this, and then we'll have some great training about recruiting. So, all right, gang, I appreciate you staying on a little bit longer. I know we went long today, but man, so much content and so much impactful content. Sometimes these long calls are important to have, and kind of a clarifying moment for where we're going in this business. I want to see a bunch of signups on MyQuility today. Let's get out there. Make sure if look at I texted in the middle of the call. I got I'm not going to name who it is, but there's somebody I said I got to get you signed up on this program, and I've dropped the ball. So let's make sure. Yes, go ahead, Stella.
Oh, I just wanted to ask real quick, Stacy, are you opening up your Zoom room today?
I am.
Awesome. So anybody new, or you just want to listen in, you want to join us, please join us, especially today, because a little birdie told me that, I talked with somebody who said, hey, let me know when you guys open up your Zoom room, because I'll come on and maybe throw, some incentives. So, but more than ever, just, come and join us, you guys. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to put your camera on. You can just listen. But Stacy and I will often open up our Zoom room. So keep an eye out that we'll try to post it more. But it's such a great training ground for anybody brand new is kind of want to hear, what does that sound like on the other end? It is so awesome. So we invite you to come and join us. Thanks, Chris.
Awesome. All right, gang, take advantage of that. We love the dial rooms. All right, everybody, have a great Friday, great weekend, and we will see you all next week with your very ugliest sweater. Come win cash and prizes or whatever is going to be given away. All right, gang, talk to you later.